The Odyssey's engine room. My sanctuary. The hum of fusion drives, the scent of ozone, a symphony of technology. It was more comforting than the sterile white walls of the crew quarters. More honest than the forced smiles in the mess hall. Out here, amongst the stars and the churning plasma, I felt alone, but in a good way. Then I saw her. She was hunched over a console, her face illuminated by the flickering schematics. A woman, older, her hair streaked with silver, her eyes holding a depth I hadn't seen in the eyes of our crew. She didn't notice me, her entire being focused on the screen. I cleared my throat. "Lost?" I asked, trying to sound nonchalant. She looked up, startled. Her eyes were sharp, intelligent, and for a moment I felt like I was the one intruding. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice sharp as a laser scalpel. "Samuels, engineer." I held up my ID badge. "You're not on the crew roster." "Dr. Alara," she replied, her eyes narrowed. "And this," she gestured to the console, "is none of your concern." I was about to leave to retreat back to the familiar solitude of the engines when she spoke again. "Unless you wish to know the truth about the Odyssey." My heart pounded. The truth? Was there something about our mission, about our destination, that was being kept from us? "What truth?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She smiled, a slow, knowing curve of her lips. "Follow me," she said, leading me deeper into the heart of the engine room, towards a section I'd never seen before. We reached a section hidden behind what I thought was a solid bulkhead. It shimmered, then dissolved as Dr. Alara passed her hand over a panel. A hidden laboratory lay beyond, bathed in the eerie blue glow of strange technology. "What is this place?" I breathed, my eyes wide with wonder. Dr. Alara didn't answer. Instead, she walked over to a central console, far more complex than anything I'd seen before. It hummed with an almost sentient energy. "This," she said, her voice echoing in the vast chamber, "is the reason we are here. But our mission? Proxima Centauri? The colony?" I stammered, my mind struggling to reconcile everything I thought I knew. "A fabrication," she said, her voice flat, devoid of emotion. "A story to keep the crew docile, obedient." Dr. Alara turned to face me, her eyes boring into mine. "The Odyssey is not on a colonization mission, Engineer Samuels. It is part of an experiment, a test." "A test?" I repeated, my voice hollow. "A test by who?" She pointed to the pulsating blue sphere. "By them. The architects." My mind reeled. The architects. An alien intelligence we'd only heard whispers of. Legends from the furthest reaches of explored space. But to think they were real. That we were their experiment. "And what about us?" I choked out. "What about me?" Dr. Alara's face softened, a flicker of something akin to sympathy crossing her features. "You, Engineer Samuels, are the variable." And then, as quickly as she'd appeared, she was gone. Vanished. The only evidence she'd ever been there was a small folded piece of paper on the console where she'd stood. I picked it up, my hands trembling. "Find me," it read, in her spidery handwriting. "Before they find you." I looked around the lab, at the pulsating sphere, at the impossible technology, and then back at the note. Who was I? What was the Odyssey? And what did it mean to be the variable?